welcome to the Good Girl Confessional podcast. I'm your host, Sandy Lowrys, and the Good Girl Confessional podcast is proudly brought to us by WB40, Women Beyond 40, a platform for women 40, 50, 60 and beyond who want to talk about the real stuff. You can check us out at WB40.com. Today, I would also like to do a huge shout out to the co-authors of this extraordinary book of hope. It is called The Power to Rise Above. It is edited by Sandy Davies. Myself, along with 29 other incredible female writers, have actually shared our stories of trauma, bullying, and how we actually continue to rise in spite of those circumstances. Please do check out the book at thepowertoriseabove.com.au. And if for any reason you cannot afford to buy your own copy of this book, please do reach out to me. I believe this book should really be in the hands of everybody who needs it. Thank you so much. Before we begin today's podcast, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this podcast is recorded. For me, it's the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations, and I would like to pay my deep respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. And I would like to pay homage to their ancient history of storytelling. Today in the podcast, I'm really excited to be talking to two kick-ass women whose views about pro-aging are very much in alignment with my own. Two really incredible women who found each other as teenagers and have been lifelong friends ever since. These girls are in their 50s. I'm talking to Mel Kenny and to Trish Gordon, and together they have this extraordinary podcast, which I love, and it is called Don't Give a 50, because quite frankly, no one should be giving a 50 after the age of 50. These girls tackle all the issues involved with being a woman over the age of 50. They talk about the fun stuff, the hard stuff, and actually everything in between, which is fantastic. They are wise, they're brilliant, and I love their pro-aging message. It's pretty much very similar to mine. I love these girls. They're fun, they're energetic, they're amazing. And they don't shy away from the tough issues as well, right? So please welcome to the confessional for the very first time, Mel and Trish from Don't Give a 50 podcast.
Hey there. When Sandy's not interviewing kick-ass women, she's hanging out with me at Alex the Seal, a podcast about music and nostalgia. I'm Jo Pybus, and each episode, Sandy and I talk about all the songs that got us hooked up, knocked up, and broken up. Do yourself a favour and search Alex the Seal on your podcast app. Love you, Molly.
Hello, Trish and Mel. Welcome to the Good Girl Confessional.
Hi, Sandy. Hello, Sandy. Great to be here.
It is so amazing to be here, and I am so excited to see you girls. I haven't seen you for a little while because last time we chatted, I was on your fabulous podcast.
Yes.
You Don't Give a 50.
Yeah, you were, and we loved having you. That was such a great chat. You're awesome.
Yeah. You girls are awesome. So thank you for being here today. I was just saying how amazing you both look. I think it must be all that sunshine in Queensland.
Oh, we do get outside a lot, Trish and I. We're outdoor girls.
We do like the fresh air.
Yeah.
It's not too much sunshine going on in Queensland right at this very minute, but the last few weeks has been ample.
Mm-hmm.
But the humidity,
diabolical.
That is no 50-year-old woman's friend, let me tell you.
No. Humidity is such a cow, especially for our hair. And I reckon once you hit like perimenopause, forget it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Nothing, I've even been into my husband's 3B underneath the boobs, cheeks. Yeah.
I love it. The butt cheeks.
Yeah, that's it. Balls, butt cheeks and boobs.
Well, I was just thinking, what's the 3B? I was about to say, okay, balls, butt cheek and boobs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
I love it.
Balls, so
no, you don't, darling. You don't. No.
I use it occasionally for underneath my boobs.
Under the boobs. I like that. Boob sweat's a bitch.
Boob sweat, yeah. There was major amounts of that while we had that heat wave. Sandy, it was, really, ugly up here.
I was feeling for you girls. I mean, we had a spate of 37 and 38 degree days here, and Melbourne's sun is very different again. It was diabolical. It was horrendous.
It really is. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. I was like, you know that I couldn't go to hell, so I better watch myself because I can't deal with the heat.
Yeah, yeah. It makes people cranky. I think,
Yeah.
when you're just so uncomfortable all the time and, if you're not sleeping well because of the heat, if you don't have air conditioning or whatever, which some people don't, so just relying on fans. And I just think people get really tired and irritated, irritable, really
More
cranky.
so.
All
Even
of
more
it.
so than we are normally.
And dehydrated, and no one likes a dehydrated, cranky, menopausal woman, believe me.
No, that's not a great combination, is it?
I like to keep myself locked indoors in air conditioning at times.
Yeah, me
For
too.
the benefit of myself and everyone else around me.
That's just self-management, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the way to go because you ladies are smart.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Yeah.
We
We have that whole debate whether we're smart, dumb, smart, dumbs, though. That's
dumb,
a whole new theory we have on life.
We're still trying to work that one out.
Look, I think I could be all of the above. It just depends on the day, right?
Yeah.
No, you're smart. We've worked you out.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, believe me. I was just having a lovely conversation with a woman on the phone just before, and believe me, we were trying to just work out ridiculously simple maths. And do you think between the two of us we could get it? No. And
That's what calculators for, isn't it?
That's what I said to her. Why are we even trying? I don't understand what we are doing right now. It was quite funny.
I think it is that determination, that old school, we can do this. There is a way and I will find it. Determination.
So true.
Sandy, I'm hearing you. I was never good at maths. It's not a strength. So I've parked that. I can count and I can do basic arithmetic in my head. And
10 fingers and 10 toes.
I can work out, if there's a sale rack and it's 20%, I can work it out. All the important things.
What else does a girl need, really?
What else does a girl need?
Exactly right. And, it's I'm okay with it. I'm quite comfortable to be like, numerically challenged. I'm just like, no, it's not for me.
Same. Everyone's got their strengths and maths obviously isn't ours, is it? Trish, you're better at maths, I think, than I am.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I wouldn't put myself in any sort of extension program.
Damn, because here are all my questions about maths. No, I'm just joking.
Can you cross those off the list right now?
I think had I have applied myself, I would have been okay. But my attention didn't really allow for my maths abilities to flourish.
It's interest too, isn't it? Like if you're not interested in something, it's much more difficult to apply yourself.
And I have that kind of thing, and I don't even know what it's called. I quite often will switch them around.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I have a really weird thing. People laugh about it. It's very true, though. The number 5, weirdly, and the letter F. And sometimes I just every now and then I have to stop and actually stare at a page and think, which one is it?
Yeah, interesting.
The longer you stare, the more confusing it is. Like there's words and you've written them down 100 times and then that one time you write it, you go, that looks odd.
Yeah.
And then the more you look at it, the odder it looks. And then you check it and it's fine. It's like, why did that look odd when it hasn't 2,000 times before?
And menopause is not helping the cause, ladies. That's for bloody sure. It's like, do you ever have those moments where I do think it's a bit of brain fog. I really do. I think, like as you say, words that used to just, know or say, like I sometimes will be talking and I go, what's that word?
Oh, all the time. That happens to me all the time. But I think that's also ADHD as well as menopause. So that's the double whammy, I think. But I also think that when we're doing this, it's that whole being aware. And that's what I catch myself doing it, whether it's my kind of mental health or that cognitive or forgetting, rather than going, oh my God, I just go, that's what it is. I don't feel like that way. That's just my mental health today. I'm not that. That's just that today. That's the menopause kicking in today. I'm not hopeless. So it's just kind of reminding myself and saying it out loud every now and again. And you know what? I think it helps. I think it helps me from getting really down on myself when I do have those little moments. Because if you believe it all, that you believe that you're losing your mind, then, that's when I think that the whole mental side, you begin to lose that as well. But if you just remind yourself going, okay, that's normal, for me at the moment.
I love that you raised that and that you were talking about ADHD. And because I do think whether it's ADHD or it's other things going on, when women go through perimenopause, and I shout about perimenopause from the rooftops and I kind of go, all your symptoms could be this, but sometimes your symptoms are not just that. Right. And I think this is a really important discussion to be had as well, because there are women who are going through mental health issues or ADHD or other cognitive kind of issues that kind of get ignored, because when you go to the doctor, they tend to lump you in, well, you're that age, so it's just menopause. Off you go away. Has that been your experience?
Well, Sandy, the funny thing is that my last 2 blood tests where I've had my hormones checked, my doctor said to me, you've got the hormones of a teenager. I go, what? Well, but that doesn't explain some of the other symptoms I've got. So that's how I think it can be really confusing and misleading. So if you've got a woman who's having some mental health issues and is gaining weight and all of these other kind of perimenopausal symptoms are happening, and you think, okay, then I must be in perimenopause. You go to the doctor and they go, no, good as gold. And then, and then all of a sudden you've got, like I've got a marina in, but I spot every now and again. I'm like, well, hang on, I've put on all of this belly weight. My boobs are getting bigger. My mental health has, I think over the last few years, luckily I've been on board with looking after it. But had I have not, it did deteriorate quite a bit. And yet that's got to have something to do with being, I'm 53 this year. So that just age in itself, even though the blood tests are coming back fine, some of the other symptoms are going, okay, no, that's perimenopause. But yet, the blood tests, so to speak, are coming back fine. And I think the other interesting thing is that you go in and, with the ADHD as well as menopause and perimenopause and mental health is, I think easily they get misdiagnosed as one or the other. So, you could be someone with ADHD and really struggling because you can't feel like you can't get your shit together. But they haven't diagnosed the ADHD. So you just think that you've got mental health issues because you're so upset with yourself because you can't function. And then they're going, okay, well, you can't function. You're really sad. Maybe if we give you, medication for that, that'll fix that, which, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing at all because it does fix it. But yet, the underlying issues are still there. So it is just a big hodgepodge, I think, in this age. And that's why we need all of those support networks around us to help us because, trying to pinpoint exactly what it is so difficult because there's just so much shit going down.
It's so true. And I think this is why it's really, really important. And I say this to everyone. If you go to a GP and they just kind of are very dismissive, women tend to know yourself, right? So even if you're in perimenopause, that's a confusing time and you go, I don't know if all these symptoms are this or that or whatever. I don't think anybody's symptoms, regardless of what they are, should be ignored. And I think it's you can't just go, oh, well, you're 53, so it's perimenopause, or do you get what I mean? So I do think I always say if you go to a GP and you feel a little bit dismissed, find a new GP and keep shopping around until you find one who actually listens to you.
That's right. I agree.
I can't recommend enough, I believe, in, like a female doctor who has potentially been through it.
Yes.
Is ideal.
Yep.
From my experience, that's what I've got,
No, I agree. I was very lucky. I walked in. My doctor had left, and then the new doctor came. The woman, she was incredible because she was going through it herself and saying, I think this is what you're going through. And I'm like, really? Because I feel like, and she was like, well, I'm pretty sure it is, but let's do the blood tests and, let's check all your other stuff going on. And I think that's important. I felt validated and I felt really
Hello, Sandy here from the Good Girl Confessional podcast. The Good Girl Confessional podcast is proudly brought to us by WB40, a platform for women 40, 50, 60 and beyond. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to see the rest of the video, please head over to WB40.com and subscribe to WB40 Extra. By subscribing to WB40 Extra, you're helping to support the hard-won wisdom of incredible women. So thank you. Please remember to like, share and follow.